cosmetic procedures at the age of 40. Today, I am going to share with you everything I have ever done and my thoughts on the treatments, which ones I would do again and which ones I would say, just pass on it. Hi, my name is Lauren O'Connell and I am the beauty editor at Cosmopolitan Middle East magazine. I'm from Connecticut in the USA, but I've been living in Dubai for the last 15 years. And I am a mom of two. I am also a beauty, skincare, wellness, and spiritual blogger, Instagrammer, and wannabe TikToker. Still can't figure out the TikTok. But today I want to share with you every type of procedure I've ever done. And I've noticed a lot of questions popping up on my YouTube channel and other videos asking me what treatments, what lasers, have you ever had Botox, do you have fillers, tell us everything, Profilo. So I thought, you know what, I'll just make a video to cover it all. Now, I do have lots of videos on the individual treatments that I'm going to talk about today. So you can browse through my channel through the long form videos as well as the shorts, just to kind of find out more about the procedure, what it was like getting it done, what the recovery was like, and the results. But today I'm kind of going to skim the surface and just talk a little bit about everything. First and foremost, there is no judgment ever from me on anything you want to do to your face in your body. This is your body, it's your power, and I'm here to empower you and to just also empower myself by being authentic and just sharing my own personal journey on really, it was a road to self-acceptance, a road to confidence, and sort of everything in between. So don't ever feel ashamed for anything you've done, or if you choose to never do anything, that's fine too. You know, there's just no rule for this, and you really just need to listen to your inner voice and figure out what suits me best, what resonates with me, which direction do I want to go in. So I have never had any plastic surgery. This is the face I was born with. It's grown over time. I actually was a very homely looking child and I suffered tremendously from it. But I've never had my nose done, my lips aren't done, and I haven't had any procedures on my body. Once again, if you've had, that's great for you. I'm fully support that 100%. I just haven't had them. But when it comes to Botox, I have had Botox before. And you can find videos on my YouTube and my Instagram and probably my TikTok channel going over the different treatments and just showing you what I get. What I like to do is get Botox right here because I noticed about 2 years ago, I was starting to get some crow's feet. And right now, all my Botox has pretty much worn off. But when I smile, you can see the crow's feet wanting to start coming out. So for me, it's more of a preventative type of Botox. I also get some preventative Botox. I just started doing this. My last session, I had it right here in the middle of my eyebrows, kind of where my third eye would be. And it's just to help prevent those 11s from coming out. Now you can see my forehead looks quite smooth aside from this scar I have right here that apparently I got when I was 2 years old and ran into a door. But I, for some reason, don't move my eyebrows when I talk. There's no Botox around my eyebrow area. I've always been like this, and that's why I have such a smooth forehead. For me to move my eyebrows around and be expressive with them when I'm talking actually requires quite a bit of effort on my part. So I just don't do it. So Botox, yes, I've gotten Botox probably about 4 times now in my life. My last session was in the end of August, and I always get baby Botox. I have one doctor I go to. He knows that I like to have movement in my face. I want to keep my face just as natural looking as possible. I don't want a frozen look. So he gives me really just a touch in those places, and I feel like it works really well for me. In terms of fillers, I've, as you can see, never have had fillers on my lips, but I did get fillers once about 7 years ago here. And that's because I had lost a ton of weight. I had gone on MyFitnessPal, I was counting my calories, and I was doing 30 minutes of cardio every day. And I lost about 20 pounds in less than 3 months. It just melted off me. And my face, though, really became sunken in. And the marionette lines, which we all naturally have, I think they're quite beautiful, but it had gotten really deep out of nowhere, and I felt like it just had really aged me. At this point in time, I was 33 years old, and I was very self-conscious about it. And so I went and I got a little bit of filler here, and the doctor also put it right here to help just lift everything up. All of my girlfriends said to me, Lauren, I cannot see a difference at all. But I felt that it gave me something. It made me feel a little bit more confident, but I will tell you that I never got it again. So it was 7 years ago. It has to be gone by now. And I never went back to fillers. Will I do fillers in the future? Maybe, but right now there's no fillers on my face. I did get Profilo once, and it was before the summer of last year, 2022. And Profilo is superficial injections. I think the doctor did 5 of them on each side, and it's hyaluronic acid that goes right underneath your skin, and it's supposed to be injecting yourself with a hydrator, so your skin just appears to be more moisturized, glowy, radiant. The doctor I had was actually, if you watch Netflix, it's Dr. Tijan Esho, E-S-H-O. He is such a character. He's from the UK. Really nice guy, wonderful doctor, but he did them for me. I was supposed to get a second session. Profilo always comes with 2 sessions, and I didn't. And that's because I had a scheduling conflict for my 6-week follow-up re-injection, and then I was traveling to the US. So I just never got around to it. So I did have 1 dose of Profilo. I thought it did give me a nice little glow. If you're looking for something with a more dramatic type of effect, Profilo is not for you. It's something that's very subtle, and it's kind of a baby step into the injectables world. Would I do it again? Probably not. I just don't think that I would need it, and I don't think it gave me enough of a, but to be fair, I didn't get both doses, and apparently after the second dose is when you really see the results. So let me say this, I would never get it done again and only get the first dose. And keep in mind too that I am a beauty editor. So part of my job is to go out and try different laser treatments, different cosmetic treatments, and then write articles about my experiences with them. I also, on top of that, I am a Instagrammer, and in Dubai, Instagram and TikTok rule everything. So I get lots of different aesthetic clinics consistently reaching out to me, offering me treatments in exchange for content. And sometimes I'll do them, but more often than not, at this point, I just say no, because otherwise I'd be getting a laser treatment on my face every day. I know that these treatments are very expensive. I have paid out of pocket for some of them. Those are the ones that I really like when I go back and pay for it myself. But my intention here is not to make you feel like you need to get all these things done. You don't. You actually need to get none of them. But if you want to get one, or you just want to learn a little bit more about them, that's what this video is for. If I wasn't a beauty editor and I wasn't getting all these freebies through Instagram and whatnot, then I would be, and I would be very focused on how much money I was spending and what I would expect to see in return. So just to keep that in mind. And I'm telling you this because I always want to be just as authentic with you as I possibly can. That's actually how I live my life. And I'm not here to fool you or to make you feel, to lower your frequency, your own vibration. It's more here to just uplift you and empower you with choices and information. So when it comes to facials, I have to say, I really don't like the facials where I'll go and they'll put some stuff on my face to give me, a radiant glow, and maybe my skin's glowy for a couple days and then it just goes back to normal. Or one that's just a plumping facial, but then it's back to normal. I like to have things that work. My background's in biomechanical engineering. I have a bachelor's degree in biomechanical engineering. Well, the concentration's in biomechanics, the degree's in mechanical engineering. I also have a master's of science in nursing, and I am just about results. When it comes to the science, for me, it's the results. What are the results? How long are they gonna last for? And I find that just with those casual facials, while it's relaxing to lay there and have my face rubbed with beautiful, creams and lotions and potions, I want to see a tangible change. So I found for me that when it comes to facials, it's the microneedling facials that just work the best. Now, this is not the type of facial where you're gonna go and feel relaxed. This is a facial that is work. And I always get, first and foremost, a topical anesthetic on my face because it's painful. And it's really painful to do it without an anesthetic. But what the microneedling facial does is it's going to create all these micro injuries, these channels on your skin. And then when usually it's peptides or whatever that the facialist is putting on my skin, usually peptides. Peptides are very firming. They're going to penetrate very deeply into my skin and really work their magic from deep within. The microneedles also, they damage your collagen. And by damaging your collagen's going to grow back firmer, stronger. And that's going to give you a smoother complexion, more elasticity in your skin, and just going to give you that aging backwards, that aging well type of look. So for me, the microneedling facials are at this point the only ones I really want to do. And those are the ones that I personally will pay for. Sometimes for my job, it will be to review, a facial that is much loved by some celebrity or whatever. And I'll go get that facial done. I apologize for that. My son is, one second. Okay, I just had to turn off my video and yell at my son. He is like the Pied Piper. And we live in this community that is just full of kids. And today is Sunday, and my son has about 8 boys downstairs. Then they're playing video games. They better not be roughhousing on my good couch. And they're eating pizza. So that's what you heard. And I just turned off the camera and I said, "Excuse me, I told you I'm filming a YouTube video." And he said, "Oh, it's my sister's fault." Anyways, not much has changed since, I guess, when I was a kid, because my brothers and I would always blame each other for everything. But getting back to the microneedling, for me, that's a facial where I just really see a marked improvement in my skin, a nice firmness, and a beautiful, beautiful radiance for weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks after I get the treatment done. And that's one that for a while, I haven't done it in a while, but I was getting that consistently about every 2 or 3 months, and the results were just phenomenal for me. So then moving on, I wanted to say I've never had a chemical peel. I've also never had a Hydra facial. And I feel like I just don't need to have a chemical peel. As some of my girlfriends have had them, they swear by them. And when it comes to a Hydra facial, I just feel like it scratches the skin. It just doesn't seem like it's something I want to have happen to me. I won't use anything as well with physical exfoliators like the walnut scrubs or any of those micro beads. I don't use those on my skin because they actually, if you were to look at them under a microscope, you would see that they're really jagged. And when you're rubbing that on your skin, you're creating all these little micro tears and you're damaging your skin's texture, the surface of your skin, and it's something you shouldn't be doing. And when I do get a facial, before that facial starts, I'll say to the facialist, "Are you using anything that contains a physical exfoliator?" If she says yes, I'll say, "Please don't put that on my face. Please don't use that on my face. It feels great, but it's not good for the skin." It can actually really cause acne because you're opening up all these little, all these cuts for just bacteria to get in. Don't do it. So moving on into the lasers. Now, I love a good laser. I just love laser treatments. To me, they really are part of my aging well routine. And I wanted to first talk about Picogenesis. Picogenesis was the first laser I ever had. I have a video of it on my YouTube channel. And I remember, when I posted that video, people were saying, "Well, why didn't you film the actual laser happening?" And I was really, at the time, I felt really bad about that. I had just started my channel. I wasn't really sure what I was doing. And the reason was because according to the laser therapist, I think is the term, if I had filmed it, it would have melted some part of my phone. My phone would have died. So I didn't really film it, but I did show some pictures in before and afters. But the Picogenesis is going to take all of the age spots, the hyperpigmentation from the sun, even ones deep within, it's going to pull it to the surface of your skin, and then they're going to eventually slough off. After picogenesis, you look a little crazy for about 2 weeks, but then everything sloughs off and it's like you just have this brand new face. I highly recommend picogenesis. Now, you can see I don't have pigmentation really on my face, maybe a little bit of a mascara, but I don't have much pigmentation. The first time I got picogenesis, I was covered in it, and it was pigmentation that was deep within my skin that the laser specialist told me that eventually would have come to the surface as age spots. I do live in Dubai, and you can see I am incredibly fair skinned. So I'm always very conscious of the sun, but at the same time, as much as I protect my skin, some damage is going to happen. So the picogenesis really cleared out my complexion and just gave me a beautiful skin tone, even skin tone. What I want to say about picogenesis is that it is painful. It's painful. Now, it's not the most painful laser I've ever had, but it is painful. So I personally always recommend getting a topical anesthetic applied to your skin for at least 30 minutes beforehand. It really reduces the pain. And when it comes to anything beauty related, I can tolerate pain, but for anything else, I'm just like, oh, I don't want any pain. But when it comes to beauty, if it's a laser treatment, I'll just suck it up, deal with it. But the first time I had pico, I was surprised by the pain. And I have had pico now, I think twice. The first time was for free. It was in exchange for some content on my Instagram. And the second time I went and I paid for it myself. I just really liked it, and I wanted to have one more treatment done to really just give my skin an even tone. I'm also a huge fan of BBL. This is Broadband Light. This isn't exactly a laser, but I put it in my laser category. But this one, I will say, only works for lighter skin tones. If you have a deeper skin tone, or even if you have a tan, you don't want to get it because it can actually cause hyperpigmentation. So it will, instead of kind of giving you that bright, pigment or sunspot free, age spot free type of look to your face, it could actually cause some hyperpigmentation. So avoid that one if you have a medium to deep skin tone. And of course, always first and foremost, ask your practitioner that you're seeing. But this one, it treats sun damage, it treats rosacea, and I made a list just to make sure I didn't forget anything. It also treats wrinkles and dull skin. For me, with BBL, what I find when I get it is that my skin is so incredibly bright afterwards. I love the way it makes me look. I just love this treatment. And actually, the laser therapist told me, because it does so much for the elasticity of your skin as well, the collagen, that if you got it once a month for the rest of your life, your face would forever be at that whatever it was when you first started it, or the best version of what it could be when you first started it. I would love to do that, but I can't afford that. But she told me she does have some clients that get BBL every single month. In terms of the pain, it's not really painful, but you jump, because when you get when the light comes down, it does this sort of orange glow, and you just jump from it. I'm so jumpy during the entire treatment. I have had it on my hands as well, because I was noticing, you can see right here, I have a little bit of sun damage there and there. And I was just getting on the backs of my hands just to keep my hands looking as healthy and glowy as possible. If you do have sunspots on your hands, you can get these lasers on your hands to treat the sunspots if that's something you want to do. And of course, always remember to use your SPF afterwards every single day, but really important to use your SPF afterwards as well. So I've also had Morpheus 8. Now, I've had Morpheus 8 twice, and in terms of all of the different laser treatments, this one is hardcore. It feels like you have a nail gun touching your skin, and then it shoots out a bunch of nails deep into your skin. It is not a pleasant treatment. It is not relaxing, but yes, the results are unbelievable. And I had Morpheus 8 let me restart this. I had Morpheus 8, I think 2 summers apart. Oh gosh, the first one I had was, no, I'm sorry, 1 year. I had Morpheus 8 summer of 2021, and then I got it recently October 2022. So a little bit over a year apart. What the Morpheus 8 does is it's a microneedling kind of on steroids. And it's a microneedling treatment. And when the needles go deep into your skin, it releases this energy, this heat to really damage your collagen. And then it's gonna cause your collagen to grow back much firmer. And I know a lot of these treatments sound alike. They kind of are, but at various degrees, or they do it in different ways. So you can always talk to your practitioner to find out which treatment would be right for you. But once it goes in, it releases the heat and then it comes out and then you get kind of stabbed again. I really felt like it was a nail gun or a staple gun just going into my face. You can imagine that I had the topical anesthetic and I could at one point almost smell my skin burning. But I actually was in very good hands. I was with a doctor who has done a lot of, he's a very famous plastic surgeon. He did it for me here in Dubai. And, he did tell me he was surprised by how strong I was. And he said that a lot of women will actually, and men, will opt to go under general anesthesia when getting this treatment done because they can't handle the pain. For me, that was too excessive. I could handle it, but once he was done, I was done. You can find that on my Instagram account. I have a reel on that treatment, and also I think I put it on YouTube Shorts. But the Morpheus 8 really tightens the skin. For me, this is the tightener, and you can really see after you get it done just a noticeable tightening effect. Now you're supposed to get 2 or 3 within 4 to 5 weeks of each other. That to me is a little bit too much. I'm not there yet. Maybe I'll do that in a year from now, but for now I do feel that the Morpheus 8 did give my skin a nice tightening, and you know, it feels good. I have very dry skin, and living in the Middle East, my skin's really prone to getting fine lines and wrinkles. So these types of treatments just work phenomenally for me. It's expensive. So would I pay for it out of pocket? Yes, but I would try to see if I could get a deal somewhere because that's how I am. Lastly, I want to talk about Moxie. Moxie is another laser, and actually, well, I'll get into that in a second, but it's a laser that is going to do everything similar to what I said before with the hyperpigmentation and the tightening and brightening. Moxie is very hot. And so when it was happening to my skin, I've had it twice now, it feels like a hot laser going into, like a hot knife, just kind of stabbing me and just going through my skin. It's painful. I had it on my hands as well, actually. When the last time I got Moxie, the facial therapist, I know that there's a laser therapist, she said to me, well, better you than me. And she started doing it and I was like, oh my gosh. But it is very, very hot. It is incredibly painful, but I do love the results of it. So I've had all these, and please look through my channel for my other videos, or I'll try to link them down below. But in terms of ones that I would get again, at this point, I don't think I would need the Picogenesis anytime soon. Maybe I would have it in another 5 years, just in case there's more of that hyperpigmentation deep within. Keep in mind that I have a skincare routine that contains lots of actives to treat hyperpigmentation. So I believe that the ones that I had were ones that were there before I had started really understanding and educating myself on the right ingredients to use. So Picogenesis, maybe I'd have that again in 5 years. The Broadband Light, honestly, I'd get it every month if I could, but I haven't had it I would get that one all the time. So if you're thinking about BBL and you have a lighter skin tone, go for it. If you want that same effect and you have a deeper skin tone, there are other lasers available. Just ask your practitioner which one would be best for you. In terms of the Morpheus 8, yes, I would do it. I would probably, be squeezing my toes, my butt, my back, lying on that table, just waiting for it to start. But I would do it again because the results are phenomenal. But if I did it again, I would buy a package that was a series of 3 and I would just suck it up and do it. And I would probably wait like about 4 or 5 years, mid-40s, and I would do it then. And in terms of the Moxie, don't think I would do the Moxie again. I have had it a couple times. I think it's nice for the skin, but I feel like I wouldn't necessarily pay for it. If I got offered to do it for free in exchange for some editorial content, then I would think about it. I would pitch it to the team. But would I pay out of pocket for Moxie? No. And I do want to say the first time I had Morpheus 8, it was in LA. I was with a celebrity dermatologist and I had the Morpheus 8, and then right afterwards I had the Moxie, and I almost think I passed out for a few seconds laying down. I don't know if I did or not, but I certainly, felt like I was going to. It was unbelievably painful. So that's just a little bit about the different cosmetic procedures, treatments, and everything I've had. And I've told you everything. I haven't hid anything from you. And I just want you to know that, once again, I said this before, but you don't have to get anything, because truly you're perfect the way you are. And the way you look on the outside, whether you think, you look beautiful or you don't think you look beautiful, I will tell you that it doesn't matter how you look on the outside. It's really how you feel on the inside. So if doing these treatments to you just seems like something that will give you that confidence, is something you want to work on with your skin, you want to see the change, you like beauty, you like skincare, go for it. Because I don't regret anything I've done. And I am the biggest believer that as women, we really are all just goddesses, and why not just live up to your potential however you see that is. And you deserve it. You deserve it. But of course, shop around, look around, read reviews, meet with the therapist first, make sure that you get a good intuitive feeling. If something in you is feeling off, something is just not quite adding up, trust your gut, go somewhere else. And when it comes to pricing, I would say, see what the prices are from a few different clinics. And if you find one that is incredibly cheap, don't go to that one, because there's probably a reason for it. But a lot of clinics do different deals, or they have promotions. So look into that, do your research, and just go with your gut and see what feels best for you. Now, I want to share with you my evening skincare routine, and I use a wonderful retinol. It's a retinoic acid ester, and it works just as well as pure strength tretinoin, but it's a lot gentler for the skin, and it just binds to those retinoic acid receptors right away. It's done so much wonder for my skin, and that video is right here.